Well, happy Monday to everyone. I'm looking at the clock right now. It's 7 a.m. I'm on the 405, and obviously I didn't do this, absolutely willfully, but it's June 17th, and that means it's the start of summer camp. It's back to the grind here of the 405 and the driving, and I'm back in a car again. So yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy, amazingly freeway-like. So, I know it's been a long time since I've done one of these live broadcasts. You know, I usually do these on Mondays when I'm working, and I hope, for the next 8 to 10 weeks, depending on what my schedule looks like, I'll be warming up the morning with a nice little forecast of the future. No, really. So yeah, this is season number 6 for me. I have been doing these runs, as I say, administrative runs. Yahoo! Yay! Hi, Edwin. Yes, happy camp day. I'm going to have a wonderful time, except for this whole part where it looks completely like this for a very long time. I just got on the 405. I'm heading to Studio City right now, and Studio City from here is probably about an hour drive, which means it's less than 20 miles away. Basic rule here in Los Angeles is that if you're trying to get anywhere in the morning, give it at least an hour, and if you're trying to stay sane, you should give yourself 2. That's kind of where we are right now. It's been. I'll give a shout out to everyone who's been, poking around on social media there. I've had a lot going on over the last several months. I'm really glad to be done with school and, finish with this master's degree program. This time last year, I was actually juggling a couple things. I was doing this job while I was taking 2 classes consecutively during the summer. And this was when there was a lot of construction going on down in the South Bay. And when I would get out of work and leave the office and trying to get to Long Beach, I would need my motorcycle. It was probably in the 90s, like every single day. It was insane, and I was very tired. It really made for 10-hour days on average, and then I had homework to do and papers to write and all this craziness. And this is actually the first camp season that I've had, to be honest, since I want to say since 2015, in which camp is the only major thing that I really have to worry about. I'm not juggling school anymore. I know that 2 years goes by fast and you're doing a lot of stuff, but yeah, and I will say that to have at least one extra weight off your shoulders, and then you can just focus on one thing at a time instead of having to figure out, can I allot 5 minutes to this, and this. So yeah, that's been a nice positive note. And if my Studio City peeps are listening here on the Facebook Live broadcast, I am heading straight to you. And as usual, I do have the anything gonna be a Starbucks? Got my, whatever. I mean, yeah. Currently, it's actually a little misty right now. We're looking probably about 65 degrees going into right now, going into LAX region here, and I'm going to be taking the 405 all the way up into right over the Sepulveda Pass into the 101. So yeah, there's just going to be a lot of hotness today, a lot of dropping off of things, but just a lot of hotness. I say the hotness because it's the valley. It's always hot. It's what's going on. Of course, with this being said, since now that I'm working again, my chances of going out on any extended vacations or anything like that are pretty slim. As you've been following, I had the chance to do that Iron Butt all the way up to Bend, Oregon, and that was pretty much the only vacation I got. Which, all in all, after doing the 1-day ride up and the 2 days down, I took the day after off, and it was like a 4-day vacation, and then I was back on Friday, substitute teaching for a pretty belligerent class. I actually kind of find it amusing because the substitute teaching gig, which I started right after my car accident at the end of March, has been a great filler. But I will say that, when you're being thrown into substitute teaching, like right toward the end of the school year, and you have a bunch of kids who really just don't give two craps about anything anymore, and they're there to, inherit that, it makes it for a little difficult time, especially when you have students that have, ongoing discipline issues that require the summoning of security at times. So that's definitely a challenge. I try as much as possible, at least when I'm posting a few things, that I want to highlight the good and also the not so great parts of substitute teaching. It's not the most consistently satisfying job in the world, I will say that, when it comes to substitute teaching, but I will say that it's teaching. It's just that you're really put in a context where you have to admit that you're gonna get your ass kicked. It's just kind of what's going on. Hey, is that Christy? Is that someone I know? I think it is. Yep, I'm on the 405. Look at this awesomeness. This is the biznats right here. Yeah, I am moving at speed. Yes, this is me going to you right now. Yeah, at a glorious 10 miles an hour, if not less. Yes, summer camp is the best. And you know why I like summer camp? Other than that, I get to see a bunch of lovely staff members that I have known for many years, and I get to see them all again. I get to see a bunch of new faces. This year, one of the sites changed location, so now I get to go see a new site, which is going to be weird because it'll be my first time in 6 seasons that I've had to go to a different site in that particular area. Oh yeah, Christy, I'm seeing you first. I'm heading to you. I've got gifts. I've got tons of gifts. Like boxes of stuff and things. So I will be seeing your lovely face in about, I don't know, I hope an hour, if this does, even though this crawls. But yeah, going back to the whole thing about summer camp, it's the best because the students that are there actually want to be there. You're not having to write like 16 referrals about somebody, deciding to just not listen to you, because you really don't have much of a choice in summer camp. You're either having fun or you're having fun. And you need to deal with that. You need to deal with the prospect of only having those kind of choices. So yes, it's lovely. And I hope that I'm hoping that I'm going to be seeing a lot of old faces in terms of the youth in our classes, and also a lot of new ones. This year has been nice in regards to just the camp itself, because we revamped our website. Thank God. I have no idea how amazing that was and how long it actually took to go through the planning of that. Enrollment system is still a work in progress, but has gotten a little more streamlined. And we've gotten a lot of things have just improved in the inner functionings of things, and I've really liked to see that. So yeah, it's nice when you improve and build upon like what worked last year and what worked in previous years, and just kind of like continuing to do that. So had a lot of good learning experiences in the last few months, and I'm just hoping that it continues in a positive direction. So we can only hope for that. So yeah, 405 happiness and all of that. So as just to kind of give it a breakdown, and because I have a lot of time to talk, and it's bandwidth, whatever. Every Monday, I have to do the deliveries to our 3 northernmost campsites. And so Studio City, Pasadena, and Chatsworth Northridge are our friends up in the north there, because we are the north, or something like that. I don't know, some basketball reference. And so Mondays usually are the longest days for me because of that. I have to be on the road no later than about 6:30, 7 o'clock at the worst, because of stuff like this, where, I just sit here like a schmuck, and no, I can't take my motorcycle. I have like stuff in the back of the car that I have to give people, That would look like some goofy circus trick if I even tried to do that, so that's not happening. But, so yeah, I can't do that. And also, I'm going to the valley, which the valley is pretty much death. when it comes to temperatures. And do I really want to be out there, when it's 96 degrees before 11 a.m.? No, I don't. So, yeah, I'd rather be in the car for now. And since I'm pretty seasoned in doing these live broadcasts, I did bring my lavalier mic and all that fun stuff. So, nice. Don't have to hear the AC coming from the vent on the mount on this phone. So yeah, just me and the 4Runner again, doing all of this. Looking forward to doing more video and then getting more photos of camp in progress. There has been a request this year to increase the number of videos that I'll be creating here. So watch out for both the still and the video camera stuff going on. That'll be awfully nice. But yes, if you're watching and you're interested in and any students from the ages of 5 to 14 who may be interested in enjoying camp in our various locations. We have 9 locations, which I will be visiting every single day, Monday through Thursday and some Fridays, depending on the scheduling. Hit me up. It's a Monday through Friday deal. It's all day from about 8 to 3, depending on the site. And a lot of classes that are available other than musical theater. I do recommend, if you're interested, just hit me up with a message. I'll give you some more information. I'll tell you who to talk to. Like I said, one of the biggest things. Well, that explains why we're stuck on the 405. That's a bumper. Are you serious? Yeah, that is a piece of a bumper on the road. That's what that white car is swerving around. Great. Clean up on aisle 4. Go ahead, sir. Like, really? Anyone missing the front end? I think you'd probably be able to see that. I think so. No. Yeah, motorcycle. I can't do that today. I have too much crap in the back of my car. That has to go to people. That's not happening. But yes. But yes, that's basically, what's up today. And, outlook for the rest of the week is pretty much the same thing. A lot more photography, a lot more just going around camps. I'll be doing a lot more funny pictures and probably throwing some more Instagram up on the tally and things like that. I really wish, honestly, that I could go to the Women on Wheels ride-in this year. I'm bummed. Obviously, a lot of things had to change after I lost my car, and then, my sources of income had to switch over, and all this other fun weirdness. So, yeah, I wish that things were a little different, but, I hope that in the next couple years, I'll be in a place where, things like this won't be an issue. And, it's sometimes, you just got to put in the time and just do what you can to put yourself in a better position for things. And it's just what it is. And, can't do much about it. It's just is what it is, So, yeah. Well, when it comes to Monday discussions, if there's any questions that you guys have or any other randomness, I know I usually end up talking about my motorcycles and all the other things that I've done. Like, yesterday was interesting. I ended up going to the Cracker Barrel in Rialto. So, for all those out-of-staters who happen to be watching right now, we have 4 Cracker Barrels. I'm wondering if the 4th one's opened yet, but we have 4 Cracker Barrels in the state of California. 2 of them are on the way to Las Vegas, and the other 2 are on the way north. So the oldest location in California, which isn't really like that old, it's like 2017 it opened, or 2018, is in Victorville. So that's one Cracker Barrel. The second Cracker Barrel is in Rialto. There's a 3rd Cracker Barrel that's in Sacramento, like over by US 50. It's really close to US 50 and Interstate 80. Which actually, when I was up on my Iron Butt ride, I actually had the chance to pass by it. It's actually, it's technically like on the border, like near Rancho Cordova. So it's on that side of town. And the other one is in Santa Maria. So you would be on the 101 toward like Lompoc. But those are the 4 Cracker Barrels that are in California. And officially, as of yesterday, I've been to half of them. which, I guess is a good achievement, especially when you're in LA, and the Rialto one is 75 miles away, and it's 120 miles to the one in Victorville if you take direct route from the highway. I guess that would be an achievement. So, that's what I did yesterday. I got really bored. I was cleaning out my closet, kind of just spending yesterday, because it's a holiday that I try to avoid anyway. Just cleaning my closet, doing something meaningful, dropped off a few books, and then went and had some fried chicken because I could. So, and then hanging around REI for a little bit, trying to debate between a Yeti bottle and a Hydro Flask, which by the way, and I'm waiting for the results to come in, but I'm actually leaning more toward that Yeti bottle, just because I just like the features more. I mean, it's literally the same product, but there's just certain things that I guess me as a very utilitarian techie prefer. So that's kind of where I am. And then ended up going to Best Buy and checking out Dyson vacuums. One of the things that is kind of a challenge, when you have to share a house with somebody, is that certain appliances, especially if you're cheap and you try to, cut as many corners as possible, they don't last very long. And I'm starting to come to the realization that when it comes to investing in appliances, I have to start investing for my own future, because I know that I'm not going to be at this place forever. So I am looking at Dyson vacuums, as in these new ones, these handheld ones that are like super light and rechargeable battery that have like a 10-year shelf life. Something insane. Like, these vacuum cleaners have gotten all high tech and stuff. No, I don't want a Roomba. I really don't. I mean, some people, like the way that their house is set up, it's kind of difficult to at least in the configuration that my house is in, it would not be very Roomba friendly. Yes, REI has so many decisions. Fun story about this is that one of the things that I really missed when I lived in Ohio was the fact that there were no REIs in the state of Ohio until after I moved away and came back home to LA. The closest REI for the longest time for me was in Pittsburgh, and it was a pain in the ass because I used to window shop on the website, but it's just a lot more fun to go inside the store and actually look for things you want, especially because when you're online and they have a closeout on a certain flavor of Cliff Bar, you cannot find that on a website. You need to physically go to the store and get your closeout Cliff Bars. So I do have issues with not having a physical REI store near me, and I just happen to have been window shopping at this REI in Rancho Cucamonga, because I had never been to that location. And I was thinking in my head, like, oh, maybe I'm up in the Rancho Cucamonga area, maybe I should go to Bass Pro Shops, which is the closest Bass Pro Shops to my house aside from going to Las Vegas. But then it was Sunday and they closed at 7, and by the time I got out of Cracker Barrel, it was like 6:15, so like there was really no point in going into Bass Pro Shops, and I'm like, okay, that's cool, so I ended up just messing around in, hey Jesse, nice to see you online too. But yeah, it was like nice to go back into REI and actually just have these fun discussions. Is one of the things that I learned last year when I was, making a conscious effort to bring more water and hydrate a lot more, was that because the car got so hot, if I bring in a gallon of water and it's refrigerated, by the time I got to Studio City, the thing wasn't cold anymore, and that really pissed me off because I like cold water. And as you know, if you drink cold water, your body has to burn more calories to process it. And not only that, but I just like cold water, especially in the morning. It keeps me awake and, it keeps me hydrated, and I'm cool with that. And so I'm like, what are these Hydro Flasks that all of these kids keep, And I laugh because, doing substitute teaching and also just like watching kids in camp and things like that, I see a lot of like different like gadgets and stuff that the kids are bringing in. I kid you not, like I'm in when I'm substitute teaching, and I'm not subbing in a very like affluent area of town, when I'm doing my normal substitute teaching. But then I'm coming in and I'm seeing students with like iPhones that are nicer than the phone I have right now, or I'm seeing that everybody has a cell phone or something like that. Or, they're coming in and talking about, the new game console that they have that they spend hundreds of dollars on. And I'm thinking in my head, Okay, that's just a lot of random like electronics for someone to own, and yet you don't have a laptop to do your homework. Or a Chromebook that costs less than an Xbox One that you could easily use to log into, your homework and actually do it. That's probably one of the things that really irked me about all of these. It's like, what did you do for spring break? Oh, I played Fortnite for 15 straight hours because my parents let me. And I'm going, right. So you didn't even like try to spend at least 2 hours to like get through a book, or and then I'm trying to teach you, and you can barely write a simple declarative sentence, let alone a paragraph of them. We have a lot of problems here in terms of disparities of technology in the school system. I mean, it's not completely something I can I can take care of on my own here, but, priorities are missing. So, and also, but aside from that, and that's just a little bit of an aside, I noticed that the students were bringing in these hydro flasks and bottles that kind of resemble them. And I'm like, okay, this is kind of cool. But it wasn't until I saw one of these up close and realized what they actually do. And I have a little product that's similar to it. There's a Starbucks mug that one of my former colleagues, when I was still working at Alliance, she gave it to me, and it was a double-walled vacuum sealed coffee mug that a friend gave to me. And it's an iridescent one. I still have it, but it doesn't hold a lot of liquid. It's like a 12-ouncer. And, I had one of these things, and I didn't realize that the Hydro Flask was pretty much the same thing. It's like a glorified Stanley Cup. And I don't mean Stanley Cup Yay Go Blues, which that was a freaking amazing parade, by the way, especially when you have, the goalie, Binnington, rolling down opposite of traffic on a Honda mini bike, but that's a little bit of an aside there too. But Stanley, the Stanley brand vacuum sealed thermoses, like those things were like, I grew up with one of those. I used to bring hot soup to school when I was in grade school and things like that, or like if my parents made some sort of like sinigang or some noodles, I would have it hot for lunch, and it would be in the thermos mug. So when I realized what these Hydro Flasks are, and the Yetis and these vacuum sealed double wall things, is like, this is obviously not a new technology. This is something that people have used for years. This is just more stylish and bougie compared to the really tall, Stanley thermoses that, you can have any color you want as long as it's a gray or a green. So, it's pretty interesting how, just by a design change in the appearance of these things, is that it's made the whole concept of vacuum sealed stainless steel drinkware, new again, which is pretty cool. And I guess and it's nice. I mean, it's a nice way to encourage more people. Hey, your water is always going to be cold, so don't be a slacker and drink your stuff. Nice. Okay, so I have to ask Carol about pouring the tea into your Yeti. What size is it, or is it a growler, or is it one of those sippy like commuter cups? As I'm very curious, because they have a lot of products. I was spending my time, last night explaining to another friend that, Yeti is really geared more toward, hunters, campers, and people who are literally looking for like serious insulated wear, because this stuff is expensive. I mean, I think the smallest hard, 12, it can fit a 12 pack of beer cooler. It was like $200 or something like that. It was something really ridiculously expensive, because it's not like some cheesy ass Coleman that you get for like $25 on sale at Dick's. So I'm just like, I'm very curious what the Yeti selections are. I'm actually, as I said, I think I'm leaning more toward that 36 ounce growler with the sippy lid. And I had to get the opinion of the audience there on Facebook to see like what people are going for, and the Hydro Flask and the Yeti and all this stuff. And I'm like, really, I don't think I can go wrong with either one. But like I said, I'm leaning more toward my the utilitarian side of my personality. So I think I'm leaning toward a Yeti at this point. So yeah, with all this talking, I've barely made it past the airport. I'm currently at Howard Hughes right now on the 405. I've been crawling at about 10 to 15 miles an hour, watching the cars do their thing and sit, and then playing let's identify the motorcycle that just lane split past me game, which happens a lot. It's mostly been cruisers this morning anyway. I think like one little Yamaha popped around by. Speaking of Yamahas, Eleanor is still at the spa, and it's not because she has a lot of things for her to be worked on. It's just the fact that my mechanic hasn't gotten to her yet. So yeah, I'm on the Versus for a little while on Miss Little Pam. Speaking of which, hey, it's a KTM. Yeah. For the people who commute from here to from pretty much the South Bay into like Studio City, I don't know how you guys do this. Like, this is ridiculous. Now I understand why people have figured out that they can either, do their makeup or use a toaster or shave. I mean, everything short of giving thyself a sponge bath while you're sitting in this stuff, because you spend way too much time contemplating life and your own existence sitting in this crap. I mean, no wonder why I dislike cars so much. Yeah, that's wonderful, guys. I mean, looking at the pace of where things are, I'm probably going to be on the road for at least another 40 to 45 minutes minimum, unless things magically clear up, which I doubt. I mean, I've already had to dodge one car bumper today, so I don't know what other random debris and or people will be all over the road. It is lovely. But anyway, if any of you lovely out-of-staters are making their way across to Los Angeles, please know that you have a tour guide on staff here, telling you about random things in LA, and I will say that was a fun little stunt back in April to do that, with friends, and I had a lot of fun with that. So yeah, there's a lot of traffic, a lot of stuff. I mean, not too much else really that is going on in this side of the universe, other than it's cloudy and gloomy until everything burns off. And I haven't had my coffee yet. Oh, that was the other thing too. So I decided to bite the bullet, and I picked up one of these cold brew coffee pitcher things that has the filter inside, so that you can cold brew the coffee overnight. I have to try that. I still haven't gotten. I want to go get like half a pound of coffee and try this out and see how this all goes down. It has to be coarsely ground though. It can't be the fine ground coffee. It has to be coarsely ground, and then I can make my own cold brew. I think that if I have some time later, I'll swing by Sprouts and go pick up a some whole bean and then grind it there, and see how that goes, because it would be cool to have some cold brew and a little bit of creamer. You can probably actually get some legit half and half and do this. Oh boy. Yeah, I'm still here. So yeah, nice to be back on Facebook Live again. Like I said, I haven't done one of these in months, just because of the, if I was Facebook Living everything I was doing in grad school, you'd be looking at me like, really? Do you have to complain so much? Really? And besides, my entire graduation ceremony was live streamed by Cal State Long Beach anyway, so it's not like I had to live stream during the event. A lot of things are being captured on video nowadays, and Facebook Live is just another one of those little venues that you can do a quick, hey, how am I doing? What am I doing? Where am I going? That kind of thing. And and post it out to your peeps. I think that I shall temper my impatience here with some heavy death metal with the windows down on my way here. I'm slowly crawling into Culver City. I have not even crossed under California 90 yet. It's a pretty typical Monday right now. Just wait until we have temperatures in the 80s before 8 a.m. and then it's going to get even more cranky. Oh yeah. So yeah, with that being said, be good out there. Looking forward to more adventures of randomness here, and just do the thing, be good, be nice to each other, keep your hands to yourself. I don't want to write you up like this cop to our right who's, I just pulled over a dude. Yeah, you can't mess with the chips when they're on a bike. They can kind of like lane split and get you. You don't really want to do that. That's no bueno. Anyway, be good. I'll talk to you all later.